We'll break for tea now and then come back in 10 to 15 minutes. We have crossed the session actually, but still come back by 15 minutes. 11:45 we'll have one more.
A lot of social innovators, people are striving to look at various different aspects, how mobile phones can deliver good content, and all these things are happening in this room actually. But we are missing out on one major point is design intervention. Are we really talking about design interventions in all these discussions? And if you're not talking about, I think it is right time to start discussing on that actually. Because design interventions can bridge the gap between technology and the end users. And this is what we need at various different levels. And why I'm talking about census data collection process here today, and why and how we did design interventions at various different stages of data collection process. And this data, Mr. Nandan Neelakarni says that they are going to use 65% of NPR data, which is National Population Register. This is first time introduced by Government of India. Is going to be used from NPR. So it is all the more important to have correct data with us, and this is what we started doing design interventions with Ministry of Home Affairs back in 2003. So this was the first intervention we started. This is MNIC, Multi-Purpose National ID Card, and you know, during issuance of all these cards, they realized that there are lots of data discrepancies happening. So there is not good data available for issuing cards to all the population of India. So then it becomes more important while the census is happening, they are collecting all the data. So the data should be clear and usable for the next many different purposes at India. And this is the typical design methodology we use. We do extensive user observation, task analysis, and various different scenarios, looking at the real situations at the field and then coming up design solutions. And we also look at systems aspects, which we consider all technology and other inputs also as part of systems aspect actually. And then we develop a lot of quick prototypes and then test it out again in the field before we you know, have a final product in place. So in this particular case, there were three major aspects we try to work with. So basically I'm trying to project here the entire ecosystem of data collection process. So who all are the various different stakeholders in the entire data collection process? Major aspect again is digitization, you know, because there's a lot of problems and issues at digitization level actually, because these are all filled up in a paper and then eventually transferred onto computers. And then there are lots of production and distribution issues actually. So I will just start with, and this entire process, the entire census is divided into three parts. One is house listing, and these are all scheduled activity. Just like we have election happening in, so this is all scheduled activity. It has a specific time period when it has to happen and finish within that time period. So who are the people collecting data? So we went and studied them thoroughly and looked at various different experiences from past censuses, like how people, what kind of qualification they have, the people, those who go out and collect data. They are primarily primary school teachers and also government people from government, So their problems and their issues when they are collecting all this data, and the kind of fatigue level, because it is enormous data collection process. You know, you have close to 40 questions with many more micro questions, you know, and then it really requires a lot of attention for, you know, retaining all those attention for asking questions and things like that. So we really looked at all these different profiles and looked at how how their fatigue level is happening while they are collecting all this information. And so there are various different situations in which they have to collect data, and how urban situations would be completely different from rural situations. And again, we have one major challenge. We consider language challenge as opportunity as well, and we have developed all this data collection forms in 16 different languages. And we have, as you know, that we have many scripts and 22 languages. So eventually you will see 22 official languages also. And these are real pictures of, you know, luckily I have these images with me from the real census operations actually. Then also looking at the digitization process.